It's time to talk about ULEZ. It's here, it's about to expand, so what does it mean for you and your cars? So let's go and pick up the Collecting Cars Defender, take a deeper dive into the subject and see if we can spot some cars which are compliant and those which are not. So what is ULEZ then? It stands for Ultra Low Emission Zone, and it's London's way of bringing or improving the air quality in the capital. And we're in support of that, but what it does mean is that there are those of us who have cars in town which will now have to pay not only the congestion charge, but the ULEZ fee. The congestion charge is £15 a day, and the ULEZ charge is £12.50. So that's £27.50 a day. That's a lot of money. And so there might be a number of us who decide to change their cars, swap around, get something newer, get something that's compliant. Dare I say, get something electric for when you're in town and your toys for when you're out of town. And if that's the case, then those of us with cars that aren't ULEZ compliant might be thinking about selling them. And if you are, now is a great time before, of course, the ULEZ zone expands. Get over to collectingcars.com, list them for free, sell them for free. Get the most money you can for those cars. So the ULEZ zone operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day except Christmas Day, and covers the same area as the congestion charge zone, but that's about to expand. Now, although the ULEZ standards specify that petrol cars after 2005 qualify and therefore don't have to pay the charge, there are some exceptions. You see, way back when, before the Euro 4 standards were released, some of the manufacturers were given the standards early so they could preempt this in manufacturing their engines. So there are some cars, and in fact we've sold one on the site, which is a 2002 Mercedes-Benz SLK, which is actually ULEZ compliant. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Because it's not an age thing, it's actually whether the car qualifies with the Euro 4 standards. And because Mercedes developed that engine with that in mind, and they developed that early, they just decided to put that engine in those cars as soon as they'd developed the technology. So you do have some circumstances where there are cars going around which you can't just tell by their number plate perhaps that they are going to comply with those standards. So as you can see with that Mercedes-Benz example, it's not always straightforward, but you can go over to the government website, as I said, put in your registration and find out whether your car is compliant or not. This Honda CR-V here, that definitely is not compliant, so regardless of whether that's actually petrol or diesel, that is an older vehicle which will not qualify. So sadly for him, £12.50. Cha-ching! 69 plate Volvo, that will be okay, probably is a diesel, but that's all right because that's after 2015. What else have we got down here? 2013 C63 AMG, very nice. I think they'll be all right. But let's pull over somewhere, grab a cup of coffee, and then just get into the nitty-gritty a little bit more. So we've stopped and parked up here in Battersea Park, and I've printed out these details from the government website just to get a little bit more specific about what does and doesn't comply. So what it says here is that cars need to meet a minimum emission standards when travelling within the Ultra Low Emission Zone, ULEZ, or you face the daily charge. Now, we've discussed earlier that the daily charge is £12.50 for those petrol cars. And the ULEZ is enforced based on the declared emissions of the vehicle rather than the age. However, petrol cars are generally those that meet the standards that are first registered with the DVLA after 2005. But of course we know that that Mercedes example that we gave of a car that we sold on Collecting Cars was a 2002 Mercedes-Benz, and because they complied with the Euro 4 standards, that was ULEZ compliant. So that car is older than 2005 but complies with those regulations. And there are a number of other cars that could be old as 2001 which also comply. So again, it really is worth checking. Diesel cars though are generally those that are first registered with the DVLA after September 2015. So the diesel cars need to meet the Euro 6, the petrol cars need to meet the Euro 4 standards. What about bikes then, I hear you say? Well, bikes generally need to meet the Euro 3 emission standards, and those were those that were registered with the DVLA after July 2007. So currently the ULEZ zone is the same as the Central London Congestion Charge zone, but that's set to expand from the 25th of October up to, but not including, the North and South Circular. So all great news for the environment, and we support that, but what about those who love our cars and drive them to visiting London or living in London? That does mean that we're going to have to make those sacrifices, maybe decide to even sell the cars or stump up for the cost of the ULEZ charges and the congestion charge. If, however, you're not willing to make any of those payments, then there is a third way, and that is to sell the car. And with Collecting Cars, you can sell the car for free. You can list it for free, and it's completely hassle-free. Get over to the website, check out how to register your car, or give one of our team of consignment specialists a call. If I've still left you confused about what ULEZ is all around, we'll put a link in the description below to the government website, and you can put in your reg of your car and check if you're compliant or not. If you found this video useful, then please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.